Entitled the Water Resources Management and Regulation Bill 2025, this bill provides for an institutional framework for the sustainable management, conservation, controlled allocation, development, use and regulation of the water resources in the state of Grenada by establishing the National Water Resources Management Unit to manage the water resources of the state. Leader of Government Business in the House, Philip Telesford, said the unit will be established within the Ministry of Public Utilities and not as a statutory body.
Who pays for the unit? The unit, Mr. Speaker, is a unit within and under the auspices of the minister, within the ministry, and under the auspices of the Minister for Public Utilities. So it's a government ministry. Who pays for it? As any other ministry, that particular unit is financed by the Consolidated Fund.
Prime Minister Deacon Mitchell, who is also the Minister for Public Utilities, explains the work of the unit.
The unit itself, Mr. Speaker, and the provisions which provide for the appointment of a director by the Public Service Commission and officers under the director, all again appointed by the Public Service Commission, is aimed at making the unit, to some extent, autonomous from the central government, although it does provide for the minister to provide overarching policy guidelines to the unit to ensure that the unit can implement the government's policies in relation to water resource management, conservation, sustainability, environmental prudence. But the unit itself, Mr. Speaker, will be accountable to the Public Service Regulatory Commission. And you'd see that there's subsequent amendment to the NAWASA Act to also make NAWASA a regulated entity under the Public Service Commission. Because as it stands now, I think we can all publicly acknowledge that when there are complaints about, for example, water quality supplied by NAWASA, that to a large extent there is no grievance process, perhaps short of going to court, that currently exists to adequately treat with issues such as the quality of water supply.
The objective of the bill is to ensure that the state's water resources are managed, developed, protected, conserved, allocated and used in a manner that is conducive to the fundamental principles in Part 2 of the bill. These principles stated, among other things, that water resources shall be managed in an integrated and sustainable manner, and that water is a basic human need, and as such, domestic use shall enjoy priority of allocation. The bill also seeks to address some of the realities of climate change. Cherry and Blackman Stephen, GBN News.